Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be working on the DHK Maximus today. I got a lot of parts to put on here, but I'm not going to do what I want to do. Instead, I'm going to take apart the diff and show you how to deal with strip pinion gear, which is this here. So I found a way to minimize or even reduce the stripping of this pinion gear so that it could last a little bit longer. I'm going to show you the modification that I did with the pinion gear that's already in here. But this is the part number for the pinion gear if you guys are interested. And I do suggest that you guys get a couple of these on hands just in case. They're really cheap and it's good to have spare parts on hand so that way you don't waste any time with the shipping and all that. But yeah, let's get to it. All right, so first things first. So here's the replacement part. It's basically all stock. And let me show you the difference from the pinion gear that I modified versus the stock one. So I'm just gonna open this bag just to show you what the stock one looks like. Okay, so here is the stock pinion gear that goes inside of a diff housing. There's three things that make this thing strip, all right? So one of the thing is, if you notice, there's play right there. There's play. That causes this to strip because it doesn't stay still. It moves around like that. And also another thing is this screw here. If this screw comes off, this thing is gonna strip no matter what, because this screw gets bounced around inside a diff housing, causing this to strip. So that's the second thing. The third thing, take that out. Let's take this out. All right, here's the diff housing itself. Now, if you notice, there's a little piece of plastic in here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but right there on the inside, let me grab something here. So this part in here, this little plastic part of the diff housing, that thing flexes. When you put loads of power to the wheels, this thing flexes. So that's another thing that causes the gear to strip. So there's three things. This screw coming off, the play right here, and this thin plastic part right there. When you put loads of power on it, it moves, the pinion gear moves. So let me show you the modification that I did. All right, so this is the pinion gear that I modified. If you notice, there's hardly any play here. I can barely move it around. There's hardly any play. I'm gonna take this apart and show you what I did. And also this screw, guys, make sure to Loctite the screw, even if it's a new part. Just like how I showed you this one where I took it out the bag. Whoop, this strip one. Just like this one where I took it out the bag. Take a Phillips screw. This one comes with a Phillips screw. This is a screw that I put myself. That's why it's a hex screw. But usually it comes with the Phillips screw. Take it out and put Loctite on it so that it doesn't back out ever. Because once it back out, that's it. Your pinion gear is over. And when your pinion gear is over, your crown gear or the ring gear on the diff is going to get stripped too. So yeah, keep in mind, put Loctite on this. Anyways, let's go back to my modification. So I took out the screw that holds the pinion on the shaft. And then once I taken this out, you're gonna see what I did. All right, that's how it looks like. So it's a bearing that goes on the pinion gear, which is normal, just like that. That's normal. Now this part, this is where I modified it. You see this shim right here? I put this here. It does not come with a shim. Same on this side. This one had 2. This one has 1. Let me take out this pin so I can show you the shims. All right, here's 1 shim on top of a bearing, and in here is 2 shims. All right, so you put 2 shims in here, put the bearing back on, put another shim over it, put the pin back into place. Oh, if I could just get it, it's so greasy. There you go. And now I've just eliminated some of the play. Put this back on. I'm gonna temporarily put this hex screw back on. And then we're gonna stick it in the diff housing, and then I'm gonna show you the difference from my modification one, or the one I modified. Dude, my English sucked today. So the one that I modified versus the stock one that is not modified. So here's the unmodified one. I'm gonna stick this back in, just like that. And if you notice here, check it out. You see all that play? That's gonna cause your pinion to strip. All that play right there. So I'm gonna push this out. Let's put in my modified one. And now, look, I'm pushing it back and forth. I'm pushing it back and forth. There's hardly any play. It's like right there, solid. Hardly any play. This is how I'm avoiding or even reducing the chances of this pinion gear stripping. This pinion gear has been in here for a while now, a few months. And if you notice, it's still got some edge to it. It's you know, it's wearing out the way it should, but it's not to the point where it's stripping. Still got some edge to it. And if you look at the crown gear or the ring gear, it's got all its edge. All the teeth is there. It's not grinded down. It's not worn out. It wears out the way it should. And also, with this here, this modification that I did that eliminates the play, the gears, they mesh up together really good, like really good. Let's see if I could hold this down and you could kind of see the mesh. Check that out. You see the mesh? That's good mesh. That's really good mesh. Now, let me put in the stock one and show you the difference of mesh. All right, I'm putting in the stock one. Putting this back on. It's like no mesh at all. There's no mesh. This is gonna cause your gears to strip out even faster because there's no mesh. And if this thing is fully pulled back, see how there's play? If this thing is fully pushed back and the gear's in it, there's still no mesh. So yeah, this is a trick that I've done and it works. For me, it works. It's not a guarantee that it's gonna work for you guys, but for me, it works. I'm not having the issue of stripped gears anymore with the DHK Maximus. So I did this to both rear and the front. And so far, it's holding up. And I like it. I really do. It works good. Look at that mesh. It's awesome. So yeah, guys. Oh yeah, one more tip. The ring gear or the crown gear always go on the left side. If you put this the other way with the gear on this side, your wheel is gonna spin backwards. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. So I highly advise you guys to try out this modification that I did, because it helped me a lot, and hopefully it can help you out there. Here's the part number, and yeah, that's it, guys. This is like the only way I could stop the pinion gear from stripping out on the DHK Maximus. Yeah, so I hope that helps. Try it out. You know, again, it's not a guarantee that it'll work for you, but it does for me. And, you know, it doesn't hurt to try it out, so just try it out. Now, for the shims that are in here that I use, they're actually from an old Diff. I took an old Diff apart, and the spider gears inside of a Diff have shims on all 4 gears. And I took those shims and I used it for this from my old Diff, and it works. Again, it's not a guarantee that's gonna work for you guys, but it did for me. And yeah, hope this helps, guys. I really do hope this helps you guys out there, because this is something that a lot of people has been asking. How long does the pinion gear usually last before it's stripped, or how do you manage to make it not strip and just manage it? That's how I do it, guys. So hope this video helps. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.